Grizz Nation, it's another Grizz Game Day update because today the Grizzlies will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm Kelcey. I'm joined by Katie Storm, who's now in Memphis for the first time. Welcome.
Yes, I'm loving it. I've been anticipating this trip for a while, just with the history in this city and loving the weather, loving the vibes, great Southern hospitality already. So excited for a game too. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, the game. Okay, I guess we should talk about that a little bit, right? This is the first time that these two teams will play since last year's playoffs, and it was juicy. It was spicy last year. It was fun. First of 4 this season. But the team looks a lot different than it did when they were here last year, Katie. I know like Pat Bev was kind of like the spicy guy on the team last year, but he's no longer here and Rudy's here now. How has that changed the makeup of this team?
Yeah, it's changed in different ways. And I'll start with just on the court. Of course, you have Rudy Gobert, a guy that is leading this team in rebounds. That is, easy to do when you're over 7 feet tall. He's been awesome, the awesome presence, adding that height for the Wolves and being that leader for the team. And of course, a different leadership style. So the second part I was going to say that's different is Pat Beverley's leadership, both on and off the court. Yeah. Yes, you said spicy. That's a good word to describe Pat Bev. So fun to watch. And I said this last season, he's a great guy to have on your team, pretty tough guy to play against. And he really just set the tone for this group. And yes, it's hard without that presence, but also it's a great thing because he left a lasting impact on this team. There's guys like Taurean Prince that have found a new leadership role this season. And Taurean said he just wants to be more verbal. He was a leader last year, but building off of that, wanting to be more verbal. And it's funny, just throughout the last couple of weeks, just what he said about Pat Beverley taught me how to, analyze film and help break it down for guys, on the younger end of things to catch them up. So he's not here, but man, he brought a lot for this group, and it's that lasting impact that will help this team forever. And it's great to have those new leaders step up. And yes, it's great to have Rudy Gobert. It's been fun to watch him, and good things will take time. We'll see how this group can continue to gel together and get stronger.
I want to talk about Rudy Gobert a little bit because he is obviously like defensive player of the year multiple times, but he's also a better matchup for the Grizzlies. So in the playoffs last year, Steven Adams essentially was delegated to the bench because he got in foul trouble guarding Cat out on the 3. Yeah. This is a much better matchup, though, for the Grizzlies. We're going to have 2 probably of the biggest, strongest guys in the league battling it out in the paint today.
Yeah, it's going to be pure entertainment. Looking forward to that. And, the physicality is certainly a part of this game, and it will be against this team. You talked about the playoffs last year. I expect the FedEx Forum to be lit, to be exciting, and they're going to be in for a treat with this matchup. Yes, Rudy, what he's been able to do just as far as helping Cat can be a different kind of style player. And that's really helped him out and extending his game. But like I said, it'll just be, interesting to see how this group can continue to play together. I can't say it enough. Good things take time. The Wolves have, struggled finding a rhythm on their offense and kind of what works together. But it's a whole new team with new styles of play. And it is so fun to see when those passes connect and things work out. And I don't know, may the best team win, but I think the Wolves have a really good shot at figuring it out starting tonight.
Well, I think that's kind of like been the buzz around town here as well, is that they're not a young team, but they're young, like together, where the Grizzlies have had this 3.5 years together now. And on our side, you don't want tonight to be the night that they figure it out. But let's talk about the T-Wolves and how they defend, because the Grizzlies right now are scoring a whole lot of points in the paint. The T-Wolves as well, actually, just in different ways. Ours is very much guard oriented with Jaw going downhill off the pick and roll. The T-Wolves have size, like they are big dudes, but their perimeter defense in terms of switching or how they play the pick and roll up top is going to be a little bit different. It's ideal really for shooting threes. And that's something the Grizzlies have prioritized, getting a lot of threes up, but not necessarily found a ton of success in early in the season. How do the T-Wolves defend? Like, how do you see this working out?
I think that's a great question at this point in time. There's just a lot of things that they're figuring out what works with their personnel out on the floor. And you talk about the 3-point shooting. That's been a very big deal for the Wolves. they have been really allowing a lot of wide open 3-point shots, meaning, their nearest defender is 6 feet or more away. So those wide open shots cannot happen tonight, like you said, against the Grizzlies, who love to take them from beyond the arc. So yeah, I mean, we'll just see a bunch of different setups, being zone. We've seen a lot of that this season, man to man, of course, always, but I don't know. The Wolves are looking to see what works and utilizing their size. And I mean, you're talking, one of the biggest things is in transition that's hurt them a lot is just getting back. So yes, the 3-point shooting is going to be crucial, but also getting back. That's what guys talk about on this team so much, of just finding your man, boxing out, getting the rebound, and also just getting back the best way you can. Because a lot of teams with the size that the Wolves have, they're going to try to use their pace, use their speed to outrun them and get down the floor. So it'll be exciting. The Wolves will have to adjust. They'll have to figure it out on both ends of the floor, certainly tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. Here's my very last question to you, Katie, and this is a opinion question. Who has the better dunk tonight, Anthony Edwards or John Morant?
Oh my gosh. Well, we are in, like I said, like 20 times already, we're in for a treat because of course, your crew knows, everyone knows what Ja can do, but Ant has been so due this season. He has, he has to find a good rhythm. I think he goes off tonight. And I have to say, even after the last tough loss, he said that, of course, we're getting up for this matchup. Like, we'll figure it out in Memphis. And I'm going to see if he can lead by example with those words, but I think he will have a big dunk tonight. And I think he'll set the tone. And going back to the beginning of this, the Wolves are in a tough stretch right now, but they started last year 4-9 and they figured it out from there. So what Ant said after last game is we figured it out when we started going at teams. We started going at everyone and just not letting those losses happen. So I think he will take that seriously tonight, going at the Grizzlies. We'll see, but I think it'll be Ant with a big dunk.
All right. Well, the Ja versus, I mean, I don't think Ja and Ant will be against each other, but like that, like star.
Oh yeah.
Lights, I think is going to be really exciting. So Katie, I cannot wait to see you. It's a long time away because it is a late tip tonight, everyone. It's an 8:30 tip. So if you're coming to FedEx Forum, make sure you get there early and grab 100 coffees because we are going to be in for something. You do not want to fall asleep. Katie, thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. It's going to be peak entertainment. Yes, I can't wait for the game, of course, but I can't wait to come see you and finally, being here in Memphis. It's so fun. And last thing too, Kyle Anderson coming back. He told me about this fan base.
How did we not bring Kyle up?
It's all good, but is he just a treat to have on the Wolves? I know your fans, they loved him here. And this morning, all he had to say was just great things. I was asking him about the best food, the best visits, maybe for someone like me coming to the city. And he's like, yeah, that's great. The fans are the best part about this city. He said, they're so loyal to you. He said, whether we had good times or bad times, they're always there for us. So I'm excited to be back in, this building around that fan base tonight. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's talking about, but it's going to be an exciting game for sure.
Gosh. Oh, shout out Kyle Anderson. Yes, this will be the first time we see him in a Minnesota jersey. Obviously the other connection is that Ty spent the first couple of years in Minnesota as well. So there's some good ties there. We love that. You can watch tonight's game, everyone, on Bally Sports and the Bally Sports Plus app. We'll see you at 8:30.